do you think that keeps women single though? Because they preach for women to wait till they're married, and you're basically telling like you let the last guy hit it for free, and then you're saying, oh, you have to marry me in order to have sex. So you don't think, and then like on top of that, there's only 30%, maybe 20% men in the church, so it's not even. And it's like you're asking men to wait when you let the last 5 guys go for free.
Not necessarily. So it goes down to you knowing God for yourself, having a relationship with God. And in that time, God will speak to you. Men will come to you because you will be tempted. I've been in church. And I'm not going to lie and say I was perfect. I was still having sex for quite some time whilst I was at church. That's just because my inner self was not ready. Right,
but you're talking about you. So I'm talking from like a man's point. But what I'm saying,
dishonest.
I'm saying
because that's one thing I've noticed.
And I appreciate that. Like that's. But I'm saying like from a guy's point of view, like why would he wait when the last guy's got it for free? Because men value purity.
That's why it's good to have somebody that's on the same level as you. So for example, now I know that I'm on this journey of celibacy.
But if it's not 50-50. So I'm saying like there aren't enough men in the church for the women. So like they're not, you can't say like, oh, we should all wait because they're not there.
I'm not saying wait, because you can still go out and speak to guys, but you kind of have to use discernment and know that, okay, I have to go for a guy that's ready to wait for me. Do you get me? So that's why you have to be wise when you're dating.
But to me, like what I'm saying is like, I think that keeps women single. Because I don't think there's a lot of guys that are willing to do that because
and that's
it's
the
like
society we're living in now.
And no, but I think the real thing is like it's like you made your bed, lie in it. And if you want it, I mean, it's if we want to live in a fantasy world where all these guys are dying to wait for born again virgins, but they're not.
But then that's why women will remain single, because it's like there's no hope. Like you can say that I was a hoe. Let me just continue being a hoe then, because there's no chance of me getting a good guy.
That's not what I'm saying.
Be ready to wait.
Well,
I think I see what Pearl's saying. I think if you do go to church and you have been run through before, don't just put up blockers because you've just started going to church, but. Like, because I see your point, right? You've waited so late in the day to change your whole life. And when I was helping people online, there was a lady that I came across that will remain nameless, and she shared her whole past with me, and it was exactly what you're talking about. She had a really promiscuous past, and then she found God. And she said to me, I haven't been with a man since, and if I meet someone, I'll be with him. But I see your point, because from a male perspective, it does feel like you're getting the wrong end of the deal, Yeah,
because it's a bad deal.
Yeah.
And the church tells men to take that. They do.
You can't even get a man in the church anyway.
Yeah.
You really can't get a man in the church.
And so, like, on top of that, you're right, there's not the men there. So even if we had it, all the girls or all the men got married in the church, like there still would be 20%. There still would be what? Like 40% of the women, they're still single.
That's why they date outside.
Yeah.
That's why they on a dating website and living a completely different life to them going to church. That's what's happening.
But if I'm a Christian and I'm dating a guy, I'm going to bring him to church. You have to.
Some guys, but that's good. But
if he's willing to come,
if he's willing to come, he'll be willing to do a lot of things.
So that's why on my first date, or when I'm communicating with a guy, I'll tell him this is what I'm a Christian. This is what I want. And then if he's willing to come, and I'll pray on it. There'll be signs where I'll see that, okay, this guy is just trying to see if he can hit it. Do you get what I'm saying?
Well, but all men want to hit it. That's like all men want sex.
I think there's actually, like, to add on to this, if there's any lady watching this and she thinks church is the answer, I actually would flip it on its head and think, where are guys going to be and where are they going to be the most respectful? I've been in martial arts gyms my whole life, and I've never met a more respectful set of men in my whole life. And they are predominantly filled with men. So to me, it's like, go create leverage for yourself. Like, it's funny.
So I should join a martial arts gym?
Yeah. No, you should. I'm being serious, and they can protect you, right? You know that already because they're in a martial arts gym. They are some of the most respectful guys you will ever meet in your life. You think they're going to be violent and all of this. They are not. They are some of the least violent people I've ever met.
But the thing is with the church, like they'll have a guy that has all the qualities that a girl is looking for. But if he says, I don't want to go to church, I'm never going to go to church, they say to turn that down. And it's like, okay, well then die alone. Like,
I see that. That's the thing I find hard about religion in general.
Yeah.
Is you could have almost the perfect match, but because they don't sign up to your rules, that you can't marry them.
And I
sometimes.
think it's one thing if you're a virgin, like I think you can ask more and you're like more competitive in the church.
Right.
But it's like if you're not, like, why would a church guy date you?
Yeah.
Also
Like, it's
says
not
in
a-
the Bible, you can't judge another person. Who are you to judge?
Yeah, but
So at the end of the day, like if you really are in tune with God, you can't judge another person based off their lifestyle,
But you can-
based
you
off their
can-
experience.
you can
'Cause
make-
that
you can-
was my weakness. Your weakness could be something else. So I have to accept that and understand that was you, that was your past. So that's another thing that I noticed about now today's society is that people are so fixated on somebody's past. That was my past. It was a time where
because you're looking at this from a woman's point of view. Like when you think, you're thinking from a woman, not a man. Men care about a woman's past. Women care about a man's future.
And that's why I'm talking that way.
So I'm saying like they might say don't judge, but I'm sorry, your actions say something about who you are. So if I was with a guy that for 10 years was a drug dealer, I'm sorry, it's not a bad thing to say, that might not be a good husband. And so if a guy wants to say, hey, she was a hoe for this many years, like, that's not going to be a good wife. I should go pick the pretty virgin down the street. Like, I think that's fair. I don't think that's judgmental. I just think that's your bed.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Personally, if I had a past, which I feel no one should like be defined from your past actions anyway, nor a guy that goes to church should not follow the judgmental mindset because everyone got a past. But personally, I would lie. I would like, yes, I'm a virgin. I'll get surgery down there.
And that's another thing I was going to
I will never say that. You will never
People
find
lie.
out. Period.
You can't do that.
Well,
But people
can't
do
lie.
lie. A lot of women do lie. You have had a past. Like when a guy asks for a body count.
100%.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, guys aren't dumb. Over a certain age, like, I'm sorry, if the girls come on, like, I've had girls on this show and they're like 25, 26, 27. They're telling me they're a virgin. Okay, yeah, like, come on, like, there's the occasional one I think maybe, but like, you know, you're a guy, you're like,
Yeah, I mean, I like to think of myself as an honest guy. Like, there's one rule. I'm almost too truthful. Like, my girlfriend's sitting off camera, and she would agree that I almost say the truth too much because that's just the rules I live by. So I would much rather just know the body count and make a decision from there. I have certain standards I'd set
That
myself.
is none of your business, though.
But you know, it does matter. It does matter, though.
why are you
it does
guys making
matter.
business.
It is most certainly his business. It is
What the hell?
certainly his
No,
business.
It is.
it's not.
Because
It is.
Yes, it is.
It is because it shows to me like a sense of self-value. I think especially from a female, like from a male perspective, like when you meet a girl, it shows to me a sense of self-value because I think everyone could agree here that most guys can sleep with someone and it could mean nothing. Whereas with girls, not every time, okay, there's exceptions to the rule, but I think a lot of times it takes a lot to get into that place. And what are you getting from it?
I'm not gonna.
So why are you
comment.
shaking your head?
I know girls that sleep with guys just because they want to have sex.
Maybe
want
just
to.
drink.
Yeah.
The same, like,
Or
if
at
a
least
guy can
come.
do it, let me do it. They're at that point where I'm a hoe, I've done it. Let
Yeah,
me just
but
continue.
men and women are different.
And understand
and
that.
so women have a certain level of requirements to sleep with a man.
Because some people say, oh, women have sex and because it takes a lot more for women to have sex. But I've literally seen girls that will sleep with men and feel no type
Yeah,
of way.
but they don't start like that
They
typically.
do. They don't
not
care.
typically.
They-
They're not typically. They don't
They're
typically.
girls that are
They don't
savages.
typically start. They become that. But when they're 15, 16, 17, 18, whenever they lose their virginity, they're not born a savage. They're made.
They were,
because they've just
yeah.
been and that's why men don't want girls that are ran through because you can't connect as much the more people you slept with.
But I grew up seeing girls sleeping around. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I saw it.
I
I
think
grew
that's
up
a
in
good-
that community.
But where
That's
does
why I
that
can
stem
speak on
from,
it.
though?
And growing up, I saw a lot of girls, and it was kind of like you had girls who were known for giving head. You had this girl known for this. Like in different areas, there's a bunch of hoes. Like a lot.
Who
So
service
over
in the
time,
community,
things have
yeah.
changed. Like
I think-
things have society has actually changed.
But why isn't it a man's business to know your past? Because your past dictates your future.
Okay,
if you have habits, your habits are who you are. So if you spent 5 years sleeping around, let's just say, then how is he to know that you won't do that again when you turn 32? Like because you have that past. Like, I'll give you an example. I used to drink, okay? In college, I drank, and I decided to stop drinking. I don't drink anymore. And the thing is, there's always a part of me that's going to want to drink because I did it. I started it. I used to really like it. And so it's like, if you used to be a hoe, there's a part of you that's going to want to go back, no matter how much you suppress it.
Okay,
because you used to do it. Go ahead.
A guy then as well.
A guy, yeah, I think your habits, like if a guy's sleeping with everybody, is it going to be hard for him to stop? Yes, but the thing is, men and women are different. We value different things. Girls don't care as much if they get cheated on as women do. They don't. I'm sorry. It's not the same, because then we wouldn't pick the guys that cheat. Like, I'm sorry, we go for the guys. We go 100% of women want 20% of men. So if we're picking the guys that are going to cheat, there's 1 out of 3 men that are virgins. So go pick them if you want to be a guy that's faithful.
You are what you do.